So what was it that like was there like a defining moment where you're like, oh, this is true?
Mm.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. What is going on, brothers and sisters? It is Daniel here. We're back here again today. Alhamdulillah. Today we have Dad joining us for a announcement video, a discussion video. Dad, you have an announcement. I'm sure you know already. You saw the title of the video, but you want to share? You want to share the news?
I took Shahada.
There you go.
There,
Dad took Shahada.
I'm learning to pray correctly. Yeah, it's a new life.
Yeah, it's a new step. It's like being born again. It really is.
Yeah,
Like everything changes.
your focus has changed.
So tell me, everyone wants to know like a bunch of stuff, but people are gonna want to know. Let's go backwards. Like tell me about the Shahada. Like where did you take it? Why did you take it right then? Why not sooner? Why not later? Tell me about the actual taking the Shahada. Tell me about it. How'd you feel? All that stuff.
Well, I think the biggest thing is why then?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I've had some dilemmas in my life and stuff holding me back. I think the biggest thing was probably being in love with a woman that didn't want to become Muslim.
Yep. You know what? You know what we call those?
No.
We call it a dunya blockage. You get it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
You got some dunya blockages. That happens.
Yeah. So
That's a test.
that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's probably the most religious woman I've ever known, and yet she's not following God.
Mm.
And
so she's Thai, so she's like a
Buddhist
Hindu. Like here they follow like a Buddhist Hindu kind of mix, and I got a mic stand right in front of my face, but that's fine. You know?
Yeah.
So they kind of follow like a Hindu Buddhist mix. Like it's quite a mess, really. They pray to statues, and they do a lot of this like really quite weird stuff. They give food and drinks to spirits, trying to get good luck from the spirits, and like they work with jinn. They do all this stuff that they don't even think about. It's just what they grew up doing, and that's how they connect with the supernatural world. So yeah, you had a little test. You had a big test there. You had a big test.
Huge.
Yeah. That's a hard one. You know, I have friends that took Shahada and then didn't end up sticking with it because of women. Because they had a woman in their life that didn't like Islam, and that was their test, and they didn't pass. They didn't succeed in that test. They think, okay, well, I took Shahada, and I'm kind of in it. Like they're 1 foot in, 1 foot out. They don't fully commit, and then it's worthless.
Yeah, I couldn't see a future in that.
Right. It's actually worse than. It's like the truth, and then because of your own desires, you bury the truth, you hide the truth, and you reject it. It's a worse feeling than not even knowing the truth, isn't it?
Right.
It's a worse feeling. And my friend Taufik, he explained that to me one time before. It's like say you meet a woman. What's worse? You meet a woman, you really like the woman, and then she breaks your heart, or you never met the woman in the first place. Usually it's better you never even met the woman because it doesn't even bother you, right?
Yeah, I'd have to say that.
Right. But if you meet a woman, you love her, and this is the woman you want, and then she breaks your heart, that's worse. Then the rest of your life, you're never going to forget about it.
Yeah, I feel worse about breaking her heart.
No. Well,
than having my own heart broken.
Well, you can.
And the big reason is because when we met, I was a Christian, and she asked me, plain and simple, right up front, will you ever make me change my religion?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, big
And I was like, no problem. You can have your... yeah, it's okay.
Dang it.
So I lied. And that was... that's the hard part.
Yeah. Yeah, but then you change your religion, so that you know, if you change your religion, everything kind of goes out the window at that point, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you feel bad about. Do you feel bad about lying? Do you feel bad to God about lying, or do you feel bad to her?
To her.
Uh,
I said I feel bad about breaking her heart.
yeah. Well,
I know why my heart's broken.
you
But
can pray. You can still pray for her to, because if it's like, it's the thing. Like when we have things in life that are like really hard, you can use that pain to and share it with God and ask God like to fix it somehow. Like, however, you know, if maybe she can become a Muslim. Maybe she can become a Muslim.
that was the defining moment. She said, "I will never become."
Well, you never know. You never know. If you read like if you read some of the story like some of the famous Sahaba, like for example Omar was nobody thought Omar would become a Muslim. He was the last person that would become a Muslim, and then he became one of the greatest Khalifa ever. He became a Muslim, and he led the Muslims to great victory, and nobody thought he would become a Muslim. Nobody. There's no way that Omar is going to become a Muslim, and he ended up becoming a Muslim. When I became a Muslim, and my girlfriend at the time, I thought that she's not going to be able to become a Muslim, but I really wanted her to. Or if not, you know, I prayed to God that it'd be easy for us to kind of separate, and she could find whatever she wanted, and I could find a wife. That's what I wanted. And then, you know, I didn't think it was even possible, and then it happened. She became a Muslim. So you can always pray. You can always pray, and you know, maybe that won't happen, but you just pray for like the best thing to happen, and pray that it's easy for you. Pray that it's easy for her. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
You know, you just
It's
gotta
a
pray for
rough
it.
one.
So that was your biggest. That was your biggest blockage. That's kind of what I. You know, you mentioned that to me a few times, and I kind of figured that was part of the reason you were kind of had to
Yeah, I had to go
hang.
let it go.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
So that was so what happened? So after you told her like I'm gonna do this, or what? How did that go down?
I never even told her. I just asked her if she wanted to,
Be a Muslim,
yeah,
and
revert
then
with me. And
she said no, and then
she
you're like,
said, "I will never become a Muslim." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, we can't journey through the rest of this life and the next together.
mm-hmm,
But I got to go."
mm-hmm,
And like you said, pray for a pious woman.
yeah, there you go. Yeah,
And you're building a home, you're building a life together. You have to have a common base.
you gotta.
You got
You
to have
you
that.
don't have to, but if you don't, it's really difficult. It's really hard.
Yeah, I guess you don't have to, but I think you both have to believe in God.
Yeah.
If it's gonna work, you think you just both have to believe.
I mean, if you're following the Sharia, if you're following the laws of Islam, you need to have a wife that's either a Jew or a Christian, um,
At a minimum.
at a minimum. Yeah, and really most scholars and things will tell you it's better to just have a Muslim wife. Don't if you went to them and said, "Hey, I'm thinking about marrying this woman that's a Christian or a Jew," that most of the time they'll say, don't do it. Just find a Muslim wife. It'd be much better off." So
Hmm.
so yeah, so you had to do that, and then so how did it feel? Did you have any feeling when you actually said the Shahada, and like I'm sure you got a million hugs and all that stuff? How did
A few.
a few hugs?
Yeah, I mean there were 7 people around.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Okay.
so
So
it
how
was
was that?
it was good. I felt really good about it.
Nice.
Yeah, it was
Like
good.
a weight off your chest.
Yeah, I saw the inevitable. I mean, I think I knew months ago,
Really?
maybe even a year ago, that I was
So what?
really going to learn about this.
So what was it that like was there like a defining moment where you're like, oh, this is true?
Mm. I got so much out of that the sealed nectar.
Good. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
that was an amazing
So that was a gift.
help.
That was a gift from our friend
Taufik.
Taufik. Yeah, my friend Taufik from Morocco originally, and yeah, he came to visit me and you and my son, and Um, he gave a gift to my dad. He gave him a
book.
hardback sealed nectar, the sealed nectar. It's a seerah of the Prophet Muhammad. That was a really nice gift. A super nice
Very
gift.
nice. Bound book. And
yeah. So you got a lot of that, huh?
yeah, it continually surprised. It's not one that you can just, it's kind of like the Quran. You read it and then you're like, wow, what? They just really said that, and
Mm.
I'm having to reread. Yeah.
So you said it surprised you. Do you have any example of how it surprised you?
Well, I didn't know there were so many miracles in
Mm.
in the life of Muhammad. I mean, it started off when he was an infant,
Mm.
and I guess he uh, was orphaned.
Yeah.
And whenever, I mean, just everything that happened until he found his home. I mean, the camel had more milk. The mom had milk she never had before, and there was enough for not only him but a stepbrother. And
It's kind of like reminds me of Moses, like all these things, like he had all these issues that were just easily overcome.
just
Yeah,
snap of a
like God
boom,
blessed him. So
and everyone around him. Most all the time, you see this. The people around him got the same type of benefits.
so you could see the, I guess, evidence that Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, was a prophet through the seerah, through the biography.
Right.
Cool.
I mean, I've read quite a few books about Christianity and studied religion, and you always find that common thing of miracles.
Yeah.
And well documented. That's what's so amazing about Islam, is how well it's documented.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm almost ashamed to think of what I told people, when I was a Christian. Now I look at it and I'm like, okay, wait a minute now. There might be some conflicts here.
Mm-hmm. That's a thing. That was kind of the light bulb moment for me personally, is like how
the Bible had contradictions.
The Bible had contradictions, but not only that, it's like every prophet, every religion, every religion basically is started from a prophet, and it all has hints of the truth in it, but it's just been not well documented, and then it's been twisted because people get their hands in there and they want to change this and change that. But you can see, because I had such an explorative, I guess you could say, kind of like early 20s, and after I turned about 18, I started really getting into different religions. Like first I even got into Buddhism, and I saw truth in that. I saw a lot of truth in that. And then I became an Orthodox Christian. I saw a lot of truth in that. But with both of them, it's like there were still like questions that I had that weren't really answered. And then you look into any religion, you look into Judaism, you look into Sikhs, you look into Hinduism, you see like these little things of truth.
Did I tell you what happened to me when I was, when I was here in 23? I left in January 23. I got really sick, and I went to see the guy at the temple. I'd had a fever for 4 weeks.
No, a Buddhist temple here?
Yeah, in Thailand. And I mean, he did something, because my fever went away that night.
Yes,
I mean, what is that?
And that could have been something that has carried on through tradition that was taught by a prophet. You know what I mean? So like that's what I'm saying. There's so many prophets, and they all came with truth, but their actual message was never kept. It was never kept. You look at all the religions, from Buddhism,
kept pure. Is that
kept
what you mean?
Pure, yeah, 100% authentic, original. You look at Buddhism; they have this book called the Pali Canon, but the scholars can't even agree whether or not Buddha spoke that language or not, Pali. They don't even know. There's some people say, yeah, he did. Some people say, no, he didn't. It's all mixed up. They can't agree. They don't even know if the book that they follow from Buddha is in a language that Buddha spoke himself. So, I mean, that can't be original. And yeah, every single religion started with truth and then just got tainted. And then when you see that Islam is the one that is the most recent prophet, and promised to be kept original, promised to be kept
That was the
intact.
part that I really found interesting. That
Yeah,
it
me
was
too.
God's promise that this will stay. And then when you see 10,000 people all knowing the same words
Yeah,
and can point out just one irregularity. I mean, I saw that in videos and I was like, wow, now that's a religion.
yeah, yeah. It reminds me
This
of
is
a short video I saw the other day, and it was saying how like this guy had all these different Bibles, like from 1400s, 1500s, 1600s, and he said they all read different. Not one of them reads the same. And then he had an old Quran manuscript, and it reads exactly the same. I could read it, you know. So, subhanallah, that's how God has promised to keep our
His.
religion and His religion, and that's what really drew me to it. Is once I saw that, and then I saw the same truth in Islam that I saw in all the other religions. I went, oh, okay, it all made sense suddenly.
And then whenever you start looking at, the stories of the prophets, that, I mean, they submitted their will to God.
Right.
Abraham through, you look at it and you're like, wow, could they have been Muslim?
Yeah.
Were they just following the word of God? Just like, yeah,
Makes sense, doesn't
it all made sense. And I was like, and that's when I posted something on Facebook one time. I said, was Jesus a Christian?
Yeah.
And the answers I heard, I was like, wow, this is
mental gymnastics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mental gymnastics.
Okay, how many people really know?
Yeah. Yeah. When you say Jesus was a Muslim, it's just like the most like, oh no
What?
way, like you're crazy. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's like, oh, actually makes total sense. Yeah. So that was kind of when you found Islam to be the truth, and you took the Shahada. You feel good about it. You felt good about it. You got some weight off your chest. Was there anything that you were learning about Islam, and then like what you had the dunya blockage, but what was there anything that you learned about that you were like, that doesn't make sense, and it took you some time to figure out?
When I read the words of Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, and he said that he wasn't God's best friend. You know who was? Abraham. And I thought, wow, that's the beginning of all these religions that I've been interested in. So now I'm learning more about how these prophets, where they lived, and I can understand more about the present time, and how the Quran deals with actually Israel. It was very enlightening, and I thought, man, if everybody knew these words, we wouldn't have this problem right now. And I don't know. I don't know. I have this complex that makes me think I can solve all the world's problems. So I have to keep reading. Yeah.
I think that's part of being a man.
Yeah. You want to fix it.
Fix everything.
Yeah. I do. I just want to fix it.
Yeah, it reminds me of something I saw recently. I think it was maybe even a comment somebody left on my YouTube. They said, the Jews describe themselves as God's chosen people in a book that they wrote. How good is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what you have going on. Is you have people that have written a book about what's going on, and then you have a book that was given by God about what's really going on, and it's just a kind of a butting of heads.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I see more about the other books. What is it? The Quran calls the Bible
Injil.
Yeah. I knew as a young kid there's a problem right there. You remember did I ever tell you that story about my grandpa who could cite the Bible back and forth and knew all the cross references and had a whole library of it. He'd written it.
Yeah.
In his own words. Cross references and everything. And I just asked him, I said, so when was that Bible written?
You don't know.
Yeah. As far as he knew, it was Revelation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I know what
It's
you
like,
mean.
okay, do you realize that in
Yeah, it's weird. It's funny how we go through life. We never question stuff. We just never
yeah.
question it.
Well, I mean, you see what's happening right now is I hear a lot of people that I follow talk about the boomers and why it all happens, and it's like, we were programmed. You have to
Yeah,
defend Israel no matter what.
yeah,
That's that was how I was raised.
yeah.
Israel can't do wrong.
I
So
feel like I got a little bit of that, but because of the internet that I grew up with, it kind of you can't keep up with the internet as well. It's harder to control the internet, and so I got like more different opinions like
mm.
through the internet. So then I'm like more open to the idea of, like yeah, I do think that I was kind of programmed maybe through school. I don't know what it was that flag is the good guy.
You remember Tyler?
Baker?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was the first one that made me realize that. Wow, the U.S. is bombing Yemen. What are you talking about,
Yeah.
Tyler?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, it's young
I
people. Young
didn't.
people are a little bit
Yeah,
more like you see a lot of young people my age are more like pro Palestine and this kind of stuff, and not afraid to be called anti-Semitic and these kind of things. Like not
it's
afraid. But
overrated.
your age more
Oh, I have friends
blocked
that
in that.
just think I'm nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest.
And what do you think? How do you think that they did that? It's man, I don't know if we should get into that too much.
No, probably not.
Yeah. um,
Not if you want to.
we'll try to stay on topic here. So Shahada, you're a Muslim now. So you told me this morning. He said that he's like he walks in. He's like, man, learning the prayer is hard. It is
How do
really
you
hard.
speak Arabic when you're raised in the Western world? It's
Yeah.
ooey.
You know, actually, it's not that different. Like, so we live in We're in Thailand. We live in Thailand, and the Thais, when they hear, I've had people hear me recite, and they say, "You sound like an Arab," and they said like, it's easier for you to do this than it is for us because you know
We have more.
they have a totally different alphabet. I mean, we also have a different alphabet, but the sounds are more similar. I think. I think that a lot of English may have origins from these
No
Semitic
question.
languages, right? So it's not that hard, really, and it is hard, but could be harder. And
Yeah, you could try to learn Thai.
right, I think learning Thai is harder. Yeah,
I believe it.
yeah. I've lived in Thailand 6 years. I still don't know the alphabet 100%, but the Arabic alphabet I learned in like so fast with like very little effort. So and I rarely brush up on it, and I still remember it. You know, so it's not that hard to learn. But yeah, learning to pray and all that stuff, it can be overwhelming. And I already explained to you because I had the same kind of feeling of like, why do I have to learn this Arabic if I'm praying to God, and God can definitely understand all languages since He created all languages.
Right.
Why do I need to recite in this one specific language? And then I realized the beauty of that actually is that when you go to Mecca and Medina, or you go to Africa, or you go to Europe, or anywhere you pray, you're always going to pray the same way that the people next to you are praying, wherever you are. There's a lot of beauty in that, and because it's the same exact meaning, you'll understand it the same way because you're saying the same exact words. If we were all to pray in our
It's a
own
new
different
energy.
way, yeah, yeah, it's unifying. It's
Mm.
unifying. Every Muslim has to go through that difficult learning, whether when they're young or when they're old and they revert. Everyone's had to learn that. So
There's a synergy to it for sure.
yeah, yeah, it is hard and it takes time, but we'll get you there, and maybe I can hook you up with my recitation Quran teacher, and you can start learning. You know, it's funny. It's funny. My recitation teacher told me, Daniel, you never know. Maybe one day your dad will be with me learning ba, ta, like the basic alphabet letters. And I thought that'd be crazy if my dad, like trying to imagine my dad learning the Arabic alphabet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might. I think it'd be good for you to do.
I've met him. He seems
Yeah.
like he helped me a lot.
Yeah, he's really good. He's a really good teacher. He taught me very quickly. He's very efficient. So yeah, I think we gotta maybe get you learning the alphabet and going to the prayer, doing the prayer, and I told my dad, I know you guys are all gonna have like the comments are gonna be crazy. You guys are all gonna have, trying to tell dad like, oh dad, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta do this. Well, I already told my dad is like, just like take it easy. Like in Islam, you see a lot of themes of like God wanting ease for you. You don't want to make it too hard. It says in the Quran, Allah never burdens a soul more than it can bear. So if it feels like it's too much, then just like chill out, just take it easy. And don't. I'm not saying go have a baconator, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
As far as learning how to
I haven't
pray.
eaten pork in so long already.
Cool. Yeah,
It's easy.
it's not that hard.
Bacon was a little difficult at first, but
You got beef bacon, just as good
I need that.
or better.
It's,
So yeah, I mean, don't.
it's intent. It's what matters the most.
Right.
I think your intention is very important to God.
It's true. It's intention and sincerity in that intention is the big
Right.
one. Yeah. If you do something to look a certain way or to appear some way to some person, then God will spit on
Know
that.
that.
It's nothing. So you do something for the intention only for God, then yeah, Allah will accept it, inshallah. So yeah, just take it easy, but we'll get you there. We'll get you there getting the Fatiha, and after that it's just 5 times a day. You'll get it quick because it's a lot of reps.
A lot of reps.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Yeah. So, anything else? Anything else you want to say, Dad?
I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, I think we pretty much covered it. Maybe we'll do like a live stream or something. We could do like a Q&A live stream maybe soon. That'd be fun. I'm sure people got tons of questions and want to tell you
yeah.
stuff. And yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. We can do
Plan
that,
something.
inshallah. Yeah. Okay, so, well, Dad, I never gave you like a congratulations hug. Thank you, bud. Yeah. God blessed you.
Yes.
God gave you
Now
guidance.
we can live eternity together.
Right. There we go.
Here we go.
God blessed you with a heart to open to the truth. It's not easy.
No.
It's you just overcame. This is what Taufik told me. You just overcame a big scary monster of the idea that Muslims are the bad guys and that everyone else is the good guy, and it's been programmed into your mind since you were a kid, and you just overcame that. You just conquered that big scary monster and
Right.
accepted the truth.
I never thought of it like that, but
Yeah. Well,
there's something to it.
it's part of it. It's not all of it. It's also about overcoming your own desires and just plainly submitting. Yeah. So God bless you with the
Slave
heart.
to God.
Yeah. God bless you with the heart to do that. And there's however many people, 7 billion people in the world, and God chose you specifically to be able to accept the truth. God could have not chosen you for that and made you, for whatever reason, I'll check that out later, or I don't like that, or whatever it is, But God chose you, so be grateful for that. I'm grateful
And I was
for it
open to it.
Yep.
Very good.
There you go. Okay. May Allah bless you all generously for watching that video, and inshallah we will see you all in the next one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.